I couldn't even wrap my head around the magnitude of the message that God was trying to teach me at this time. God said, "You are the ripple. Your thoughts, words, and actions will affect mankind as the ripple does the water." And I remember thinking over and over again about that lesson and watching how significant that single ripple was, how much impact it had, and knowing that that rock had caused it, and that rock had a light, and that light, it came from God, and it was the energy life force. I realized in that moment that it wasn't just about me, it was about each of us. Each of us are the rock. Each of us have that light. The light is from our Creator. It's up to us if we choose to shine that light or not. I didn't think I could handle anything else. I mean, this was so much information, and it was really important for me to remember it. And I thought we were done, but then God said to me, "Look again." So I had to look to my right again. And in front of me this time were these shelves, like bookshelves. And the shelves kept on going past stars and galaxies. And I remember looking behind me, and the shelves kept on going. And all of a sudden appeared gifts, presents like at Christmas time. And not one gift looked the same, not one. And God said to me, "When you're born, I give each and every one of you gifts. I have more gifts for all of you. And all you have to do to get those gifts is ask. But then be quiet and listen." At this point, God directed me to look to my left and down. And I looked down, and it was almost as if it was always in front of me, but I had never noticed it until that moment when God asked me to look. And there was planet Earth. And we were a significant distance away, and yet I had the ability to see. I could see my family, where they were at, my children, what they were doing. And that's when I had this knowing that, yes, I'm a mom, my kids are little, yes, technically the human side says they need me, I need to go back, but I was flooded with the knowledge and the wisdom that we're never separated. There is a bridge between heaven and earth, and we will always be with our loved ones. The physical is so limiting, and there's so much more. And having this feeling, it was incredible, and it just solidified that I knew I wasn't going to go back. I wanted to stay. This was the first and only time I felt this incredible amount of sadness, and it was coming from God. The best way I can try to put human words to the magnitude of sadness that God was feeling was, I haven't lost a child, but I can imagine. Sorry. My children are the most important thing to me, and this feeling of this tremendous amount of sadness from God was like losing a child, but times millions of children at once. The loss was that deep. I said to God, "Your children are okay, it's okay. Look, why are you sad?" As if I was the expert telling God to look on the planet to see his children were okay. And as I said that, I go to look with God, and I see something I hadn't seen yet. Something was flickering off the planet, and so I remember trying to focus my vision more, and as soon as I did that, I could see that they were flames. And there was flames engulfing the planet. I started having this like a tremendous panic attack, because the first thing I thought of is my children are down there, my family, my loved ones are down there. God, help, what's happening? And as soon as I'm thinking this thought, appeared in front of me those glasses again. And I knew from the first time, I didn't have a choice to put the glasses on when they appeared. And so I remember thinking, I can't handle seeing more than what I'm seeing, and it didn't matter. As soon as I'm thinking that human thought, I felt my hands reaching for the glasses. I drawed them on my face once more, and then I had to look, and I looked, and this time with God's glasses on, what I saw was between the flames shooting off the earth, these silvery, white, almost luminescent life force souls, and they were lifting off unscathed in between the flames from planet Earth. They were coming up behind us on my left and into planet Heaven, which I knew was behind me. And as they would go by, I could feel the love energy that propelled them. It was the fuel. And I remember God still having that sadness feeling. It wasn't lifted. And here I was relieved because I could feel people that I knew, my loved ones, going past me. And I knew it was heaven behind me. And I knew that's where I wanted to be. And that's where the love was. So I said, God, it's okay. It's okay. Look again. And that's when God said to me, Erica, it's free will. And I said, what do you mean it's free will? They're coming in. And God said, look. I looked again, and this time I saw past all the flames and the souls lifting off, and I saw at the core of the earth on the ground the souls that were not lifting off. I remember panicking and asking God, why can't you save them? Save them. Can't you save them too? And God said to me, Erica, it's free will. Hand in hand with the gift of life, I give free will. And I understood that this meant that God loved not some of us, but each and every one of us so much that it was the greatest gift paired with life to choose, to let us choose if we wanted to have that love connection with our Creator. As a parent, you think you know what's best for your children. And we are God's children, but yet God loved us so much that He gave us that gift to choose and didn't say, you have to love me, you have to choose me. It was choosing the love connection. And the souls that had not lifted off had chose to not have that love connection. So the sadness that I was feeling was for the ones that were, left behind. As soon as we got done seeing that, I felt my attention directed to this was now the first time that I was going to be able to turn around. The whole time we had these lessons, and in heaven, I knew that heaven was behind me, but my focus needed to be in front. And so this was the first time that I was told I could turn. And as I turn around, it's so hard to put into human words because really, can't think of anything that's gives it the justice, the magnitude it deserves, but heaven was a planet. And it was so big in comparison to the earth that the earth is like a speck of dust in size. As soon as I'm seeing this, I have this natural propulsion to want to just start running to heaven, to catch up to the other souls, if you will. They had already gone in. And I thought the lessons were over, and the feelings that I had felt, that unconditional love of not having separation with our Creator anymore and knowing that I was home, I really didn't think it would be possible to send me back. So I remember feeling like I was starting to run to heaven and being frozen in my tracks. And God said, wait a minute, child. You're not staying. You're not staying, child. You work for me now, remember? And I had remembered in those days leading up to my death, that contract that I made with God, that if God would let me live and help me heal and get healthy again, I would work for God. I would do anything. and God held me to it. I didn't think he was watching, but he was.